Design issue number one. Most enterprise performance management is heavily skewed towards the past. It's about analyzing past performance. It's about analyzing variance. It's about analyzing why something happened differently than planned. The second issue is that in most cases, a whole bunch of work starts happening grounds up. And the reason for that is because you try and get to be as accurate, as close to the scene of action as you can be. And it basically then elongates the cycle time of any enterprise performance management process, whether it's a reporting process, whether it's a planning process, whether it's a forecasting process, whether it's a budgeting process. In today's volatile, uncertain world, what's the use of creating a forecast which takes 3 months to create and which has a shelf life of possibly just 1 more month, as opposed to trying to create one which takes 15 days to create and can be executed for the rest of the quarter? The trade-off obviously is a question of speed and agility versus accuracy. The more you focus on the past, the more your chances are to be accurate. The more you focus on the future, the chances are that you will have to create scenario building and take some positions and some calls which may be directionally correct. So one of the examples which we often use is the example of the mileage meter in a car. All of us, when we drive our cars, we keep a close look on what the mileage meter is saying in terms of how much fuel is left and how many kilometers that car will run. The reality is that it's a complex calculation, not very different from how you calculate business performance, because it takes into account your average speed, it takes into account the condition of the car, it takes into account how much fuel efficiency the engine has. So it has past data, and then it also forecasts with GPS what the route looks like to tell you whether it will go another 50 miles or 100 miles. But it's seldom accurate. Yet, if you think about it, it gives you a bias for action to determine when do you want to get to the fuel pump. Let me refocus a little bit on the other concept of literacy and numeracy. Again, if you think about historically, the predisposition for enterprise performance management has been to focus on numbers and relationship of numbers. And even the most sophisticated algorithmic variances and algorithmic calculations has focused on relationship of numbers. There is going to be always a variance in terms of building in qualitative insights to make those decisions. And this is again where the future looking is more important than past. Past you can explain with algorithms. Future you need algorithms plus qualitative insights. So the example which we sometimes use with our customers, for example, is in the whole vendor risk management area. I mean, if you think of what you need to do for driving a good vendor risk management, you need financial information of the vendor to understand the financial standing, liquidity, solvency of the vendor. You need to obviously understand their performance in terms of executing to the contracts that they were supplying. You need views about their basic information structure, which are all deterministic. But you also need to understand the context in which they operate, the countries they operate, the industries they operate, the kind of investigations that might be going on, the issues that are happening in social media about their quality or about their dealings with customers. And if one can build that into an integrated scorecard, that vendor risk management scorecard is far more useful than a numerical scorecard.